Ah, the bean. They call it the magical fruit. The more you eat, the more you toot. But there's so much more to the bean than tooting. Inside every small, tiny bean is power and strength, and that all comes from protein. But what is protein?
What is protein? I'm glad you asked. Protein is found throughout our entire body. It's in our hair, it's in our bones, it's in our skin, and it's in our muscles. And we need protein in order to make sure our bodies grow up to be strong and healthy. A really important thing about proteins is that they're made up of these things called amino acids. And our bodies either make them or we have to get them from food. But there are 8 specific amino acids that we need that we can only get from food, such as meats like chicken and fish, and dairies like cheese, milk, and yogurt, and of course our friend the bean, which we're going to get more into. So today I'm going to be showing you how to cook beans. And yes, you could go ahead and buy a can of beans and call it a day, but if I'm being truly honest, there is no better tasting bean than a home cooked bean, because you could add whatever flavors you want to that pot of beans. So today I'm going to show you how I make my pot of beans. So let's get started.
Here's what you're going to need. A pot, half an onion, as much garlic as you want, a bay leaf, and salt. So the night before I cook my beans, I soak them overnight in a hefty amount of water. And you know how they say, beans, magical fruit, the more you eat, the more you toot? Doing this step helps remove those indigestible sugars that cause, tooting. You'll also notice at this point that the bean has almost doubled in size. This makes it easier for cooking too. After draining and rinsing your beans, put them in the pot and then cover them with about 2 to 3 inches of water. You just want to make sure that they're completely submerged throughout the entire cooking process. We do not want dried beans. Place your pot on the stove and then just add in the onion, garlic, bay leaf, and salt. Set the burner to medium and let it come to a simmer, and after a while you're going to notice some white foaminess on top. You're going to want to scoop that out because it adds a little bitterness to our beans that we don't really want that. Once you see that your beans are starting to simmer a little bit, you're going to turn the stove to medium heat and you're just going to cover them up. Let them hang out for an hour and a half or just until your beans are soft.
Okay, so it's been about an hour and a half, and I'm gonna go ahead and check on these beans. Smell really good. Very excited. This is what they look like. Just to give you an idea of what they look like, the onion got really soft and it's just in the bean juice. Don't forget, save this bean juice. This is magical juice. Save it. Oh, hot. But there. Oh, hot. It's a really good bean. This is why I really like making my own beans as opposed to getting canned beans, because with the onion and the garlic and the bay leaf, that flavor is in these beans, and then when you put them on like on a rice bowl or whatever it is that you do with beans, it's just so good. Oh. It reminds me of how my mom would make beans as well. So I want to keep eating these, but I hope that you try making your own pot of beans, because let me tell you, it's worth it. One thing that I forgot to mention was, if you're making your own beans, you should probably eat them within the week or else they're gonna get a little funky. But you could also freeze them and they'd be good for a couple months. So That's how you store your beans. Okay. All right. See you next time.